My guest today is Kirsten Graham. Kirsten understands that time is the most valuable asset for business owners. That's why she helps them transition from being invisible to gaining visibility with the right audiences. Through strategic video marketing and podcast guesting, Kirsten empowers business owners to build authority and generate quality leads. Plus, with the support of a VA, business owners can free up their time to focus on growing their income. Thanks so much for being here today, Kirsten.
Thank you so much for having me. I feel like we both have the same passion for helping people in
Yeah,
business.
well, we do. We're in that same line. We do it differently, but the passion is definitely the same. Okay, so I mentioned this, in your bio, but I want you to go into a little more detail. How can small business owners use outsourcing to
Sure.
grow, their business without burning out or overhiring?
Perfect. Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna talk about video first, and I'm gonna talk about some other ways as well. But having a YouTube channel or having a podcast, you're creating evergreen content. So you're doing something one time. That piece of content can be broken down to lots of other pieces of content. It gives you something fantastic to send out to your email list. But the best part is you can have a marketing virtual assistant who takes care of everything for you. So, for example, I'm a guest on your podcast. My booking virtual assistant made this happen for us. Or, when we interview guests on our podcast, it's a marketing virtual assistant who takes care of all the production and uploading it and taking care of the SEO and then promoting it. So by having support in your business, it can really change what you can do as far as your marketing goes. And, most of our clients, their marketing virtual assistants work 20 hours a week for them. And, you're talking about $250 a month. So it's very, very affordable. Yeah. And I feel like I do really believe that time is our most valuable asset. And so often we waste our time on things that we shouldn't be doing. And so one of the things I like to ask people, if this is like, a $5, $6, $7 an hour task, should you really be doing it? And yeah. And another thing I'm really passionate about is bookkeeping. So many small business owners, they start their business and they just hope for the best, right? And so they're not taking care of their finances, which means come January, usually through April, sometimes through October, if they file an extension, they're stressing about their taxes. And we don't realize that, time is valuable, our energy is valuable. And when you're not doing the things in your business that you need to do, it's eating away at your energy. And then eventually you have to put a bunch of time in to get all your tax stuff together. So we also really support our clients on hiring a bookkeeping virtual assistant to take care of their bookkeeping for them. And, most of our clients, their bookkeeping VA is on their team, but they only work about 6 hours a month. So you're only investing money in in the time that you need to get the task done. So for $6 an hour, why would you not have
Yeah,
your bookkeeping up to date? But
right.
the other thing is there is so much power in starting a business, right? We start our businesses because we want freedom. We also want to excel with our income. When you start a business, you have unlimited income potential. However, we often cut off that potential by not managing our business like a business. And
Right.
one of the main things is financing. And so by having your business, your books in order and having a great relationship with your bookkeeping VA, you can really go through your profit and loss statement and your balance sheet, and you can make really smart decisions on how to use your money to leverage the growth of your business and to increase your income. So again, that's a very powerful tool. So if you love doing your bookkeeping and you're really fast, great. If you hate doing it and you're just wasting time, I always say, something that would take me 12 to 15 hours takes my bookkeeping VA, 4 to 5 hours at the most.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And then the other area where we found most of our clients needed support was with software and technology. So we help them, a lot of people sign up for software. I don't know about you, but I've done it in the past where I pay money for something and then I don't really get the use out of it because I think I'm gonna have the time to really learn it, or I
Right.
get in there and then I get busy and then I come back in and it just never really gets utilized to the full extent. So we really support our clients with software virtual assistants to help them with their CRMs, help them with their booking calendars, their lead magnets, if they have courses or programs. So really helping them to automate as much of their business as possible, but having a virtual assistant that knows that software inside and out that can do those things for them. So
Yeah.
that's our goal, is to help people buy back their time at a very affordable rate. And the other part that I love so much is the fact that we're helping these wonderful people halfway around the world end up, with getting great work, working for wonderful people who treat them well, pay them on time. And so you're creating this really win-win environment. The other thing, Diane, that I saw that was so amazing was, even if you're just hiring someone, let's say a bookkeeper, it's 6 hours a month that they work for you. It is so interesting to see how that business owner goes from being a solopreneur to realizing that they're building a business that's outside of themselves. They're building a business that's bigger than themselves. So we see that with the marketing virtual assistants, the software VAs. When people realize if you have good people on your team, you
Yeah.
can go a lot further, a lot faster, and you can completely avoid burnout.
So I love that. And I think it's critically important, especially, for startups and for solopreneurs to understand that, they don't have the bandwidth to be able to grow their business if they're doing everything in their business. Um, and so I want to stay on this outsourcing thread for a minute because there's something about it, um, having like repeatable systems
Yes.
that I think most business owners, struggle with really figuring out
Yes.
what is the system, what is the best system, having it documented, all of those things. So talk about how outsourcing can help a small business build those repeatable systems that
Yeah.
let them grow
Yes.
without being totally stressed out.
Yeah, we always joke that SOPs are not sexy, right?
No.
Standard operating procedures are not sexy. They're not the topic people want to talk about. But you think about wearing all the hats in your business. If you've never had to create an SOP, you've never had document processes and figure out project management software, it's just something, it's a big learning curve, right? And so that was one of the things that we found early on when we first started helping our clients with marketing virtual assistants, because Jeannie owned a marketing agency for many years. So all the standard operating procedures were there for her team. So we are able to train our clients' virtual assistants on all of the standard operating procedures for video production, podcast production, social media management, email management, and blogging. So all those systems are in place. And then we have to give those systems to our clients and then teach them how to use them. I
Ah,
love saying we lead people, we manage tasks.
yes.
We want our clients to learn how to lead their team and how to manage the task through structure. So don't beat yourself up if you don't know how to create SOPs. It's not something, again, most of us were ever taught. And so finding a way to do that. And one of the things I always get excited when something happens in our business, we call it like a happy byproduct, something you're not expecting to have happen. When we first started teaching our clients how to use our SOPs and how to manage the task, so many people came back to us and said, "Hey, I was able to take what you've done and duplicate that for other areas." Like I didn't, no one had ever talked me through a documented structure or how to use a project management software.
Mm.
And once I got used to using this with my marketing virtual assistant week after week, I started thinking, okay, well, how could I implement some structure, not only to delegate it, but to help keep me more organized and have more structure around the tasks that I do. And so that was really heartwarming to realize that people were able to then take that and start to kind of duplicate it in other areas of their business.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Okay. So one of the challenges I will say of doing this for small business owners is, making sure that they're building that reliable support team, right?
Yeah,
So they don't have to hire employees, but they know they've got these people who they can count on. And let's focus on like the marketing support.
sure.
What would you say is like the most effective way to build a reliable marketing support team without hiring?
Without hiring an employee, just outsourcing it.
Without hiring employees. Thank you for that. Without hiring employees.
Sure. So first of all, we try to have our clients have a little bit of a mind shift. So yes, our team members are in the Philippines. Yes, they are foreign contract workers, but we really try hard to get our clients to view them as part of their team. right? So just because someone's not a W-2, they're not on your, payroll in the US, it doesn't mean they can not, that they can't be part of your team. If you're having meetings, you can have them on Zoom and have them be a part of the team. So it's really important to realize that you can bring people in halfway around the world and make them part of your team. You're saving money exponentially. You don't have to worry about Social Security, FICA, workers' comp. You don't have to worry about issuing 1099s. And there are challenges, right? They're halfway around the world, so time zones can be a little different. But I feel like all of that is doable because, especially if you understand when you have systems in place, you're not spending as much time managing those tasks. So, for example, a marketing virtual assistant that works 20 hours a week, I don't care what hours they work. As long as when I'm supposed to meet with them to review that video, it's done. When I'm supposed to meet with them to check out the edits or the social media posts that they've created, they're finished. So it's more about managing getting all the tasks done, because people will say to me, well, how long does it take them to edit a video? Well, I don't know. How long is the video? Is it 5 minutes or 45 minutes? How much B-roll? How many images? Like what do you want that video to look and feel like is going to dictate that. And again, then if it's a longer video, you're going to have a lot more social media content. So that will take longer. And we always tell our clients, it'll work out in the wash. Like maybe this week you do a 10-minute video and maybe they're finished in 17 hours and you don't have anything else for them to do. Don't cry over spilled milk. It's not costing you but a couple bucks, right? But the other week, maybe you have a 45-minute video and they end up working 24, 25 hours.
Right.
That kind of comes out in the wash. And that's how salaries work here in the US. If you're a salaried employee, some weeks your workload's a little less,
Right.
some weeks it's more. As long as it's fair and equitable,
Yeah.
by having structure, it prevents you from needing to spend a great deal of time managing someone. And to be honest, I would much rather have someone halfway around the world than in my office. I hate to say that, but not because I don't want American workers. We do have Americans on our team, but just because, I have very set dedicated meetings that I'm going to meet with my team members, and so does Jeannie. And
Yeah.
so, and again, because they're halfway around the world, you have to lean into structure, systems, processes, deadlines, how we're going to review work. All of it is so structured
Yeah.
that it doesn't waste my time and it doesn't interrupt my day. It's not like someone's walking into my office and saying,
Right.
can you review this now? So
Yeah.
I think it's a powerful tool.
Yeah. Yeah. No kidding. Wow. Kirsten, this is great. I so appreciate you providing these tips. Will you tell the listeners how they can find you, please?
Sure. You can just go to sixfigurebusinesscoaching.com, and that's SIX, sixfigurebusinesscoaching.com.
Excellent. Thank you. And listeners, thank you. You are who we're doing this for.